What's up, everybody? Welcome to another AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight On, and this one is very highly anticipated. This is with the extremely talented returning guest, Mr. Ricky Whittle, covering maybe some controversial issues, maybe a sad goodbye. We're going to ask him all the questions. Stick with us, guys. We'll see you in a second.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Up, everybody. Welcome to the show. Look who we have. Look who's back. What's up? I'm back.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, dude, this is a long time coming. I'm so excited you made it in.
I know. It's a long way up here. This is very fancy. This is AFTERBUZZ is doing. You're doing good.
Yeah, we have our gigs a little bit.
Can we just talk for a second how he stitched me up and rocks up in the most amazing suit. He's all dapper, and here's me in my PJs.
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
I told Ricky it was coming to work casual day. I was like, Hawaiian shirt's totally good, man. It's all good.
Don't worry. Just wear your shorts, bro. It's fine. Me? Nah, I'll just wear something. I'll just find something in my wardrobe. Yeah, and he turns up in this.
It's a TV star. I have to compete. You know, I can take my edges where I can get. So
yeah, you look good, bro.
Thank you. So, guys, I'm Ben Bateman, and this is an interview that we have been talking about on Twitter. So if you're watching this live, thank you for tuning in. This is very exciting for all of us. Of course, we have Mr. Ricky Whittle, and Ricky, we have a special guest in the room. You want to introduce her?
Yes, this is young Nina Colonna, my certain young lady who's sat over there.
Hello, welcome.
She's my basically she'll give me the look.
Oh yeah.
If I say anything wrong.
Oh no, that'll be trouble for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she's fine. She's here for moral support.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. It's a good move. All right, we have a lot to cover, man. There's so much to cover. But before we do, I should remind everybody that, of course, AFTERBUZZ TV is on YouTube. So leave your comments below. We're on iTunes. If you guys can go and rate and review and leave a rating, it's very helpful for us to stay high in the standings. Continue to provide free content. If you guys want to interact with us, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Ben Bateman Media. This is at Mr. Ricky Whittle, unless anything's changed.
I'm at Mr. Ricky Whittle. Yeah.
And of course, we're going to be doing a swag giveaway later. We have should we show the items?
Should we show you?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's rude. I'm British, so I find it rude to come to someone's house without gifts. So I thought at the end of all this, we could give some stuff away. So here we got a 100 season 2 bag. This is my bag from season 2. So what? Sound effects?
Just for you, Ricky.
I like that. That's magical. So we got that. Whoever wins this, I'll sign this, and we'll get that off to you. And my season 3 beanie.
Yeah, he actually wore that beanie, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. This kept me very warm through many a cold night up in Vancouver. So yeah, I mean, it smells lovely. It smells of my head. So if you guys want some of that, then Ben's going to tell you later on how to get your hands on it.
Yeah. So if you guys want to start early at the end of it, we're going to do the giveaway. Well, actually, I probably will have to do the giveaway off air. Otherwise, it's just going to be too complicated to go through everybody. But you're going to use the hashtag Teatime with Ricky and
Teatime with Ricky.
Teatime with Ricky. And you guys, if you follow the AFTERBUZZ TV Twitter, which is at AFTERBUZZ TV, mine, which is Ben Bateman Media, Mr. Ricky Whittle, and lastly, of course, Ricky's on a brand new show, which is going to be on Stars. We're going to talk lots about. Follow that one. That is American Gods STZ. Those 4 follows and a hashtag get you in the game for these giveaways. He's going to sign those things, and we're gonna give them away later. So we'll get into that. So let's get straight into the show. And before we do, I should remind everybody that voice you guys heard, that is Alexis Torres.
Alexis,
hey.
She's eye in the sky.
Yeah, it's
a beautiful voice from the
heavens.
I am
the voice of God just for today.
Just for today. She's on the live chat, guys. You know Alexis because you see on Thursdays we do the 100 After show, and she's one of my co-hosts on that show with Tari J. Miller, and so she's going to be watching the live chat and trying to keep up and keep us honest here, and maybe even shouting out some of your questions on the live chat if we can get to them. So
she's
be
also
extra nice to us.
Wonderful cook. She makes the best cookies.
Yes. I'm so upset I didn't have enough cookies to give today.
Oh,
but next time you'll get a package from me with just cookies and chocolate, all for you, good sir.
She's gonna send it to you on set, man. She's gonna
be like, it's all right. You can fat me up. It's cold in Toronto.
That's why I'm gonna do it.
We start shooting up there in 2 weeks, and it's apparently there was a snowstorm yesterday in Toronto. So bring on the cookies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I will just sit there and I'll just warm you up with baked goods.
Sounds good.
So speaking of cookies, first question, man. You look like you put on some weight since last time. You've been working out super hard? No.
Ben, get out. I'm going to interview him now. You're done.
Okay, come on. Let's swap.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I have. So obviously, for those who don't know, I've been announced as Shadow in Neil Gaiman's American Gods.
It's the main character for anybody who doesn't know that. It's a gigantic deal. Don't be so
I
humble
mean,
about
it's
it.
a bit of a big deal because he's kind of amazing. But no, I feel very blessed. You know, this is going to be an incredible project. It's going to be on Stars.
Yeah.
And literally the names alone, just, I mean, the press have been going crazy. You know, this is Brian Fuller, Michael Green, David Slade, and Neil Gaiman. It's what more can you ask for from those producers? You know, they're incredible storytellers. The book itself is fantastic. You know, I have actually read it, although I've been told to kind of forget the book now.
Right, lose some of the inspiration probably.
To focus on the actual the episodes that we're going to be putting out for TV, because some of it won't translate to screen.
Yeah.
You know, Shadow, for those who don't know, basically Shadow is an ex-con who is released early from prison after some sad news, and is hired as a bodyguard by a mysterious Mr. Wednesday, played by the incredible Ian McShane.
You get to work with Al Swearingen, man.
Goodness.
That's crazy.
For everyone back in the UK, it's Lovejoy.
Yeah.
For everyone else in America, Deadwood. I mean, this is this guy is incredible, you know, and I feel really blessed and honored that I get to learn from this guy. You know, I get to go toe to toe with him in untold amounts of scenes. You know, it's the scripts are incredible. So he basically hires me as a bodyguard to look after him and drive him around as he recruits what I find out to be old gods as he wages war against the new gods.
Right.
So basically, people don't believe in gods anymore. They're losing faith in all the gods. So in modern day, we kind of worship these new gods. We kind of worship technology. We worship social media, and this is kind of a new rising power, and the old gods want to kind of take it back and level the playing field. And I guess I kind of get stuck in the middle of this war. But you know, the scripts so far that have come through are absolutely mind blowing. I mean,
I'll bet.
It does follow the book, but they're actually fleshing it out, so you're going to learn more about characters like Bill Quist, like Laura, who's played by Emily Browning. I just watched her recently in Legend with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
She knocked that out the park. She's incredible. I'm looking forward to meeting them all. So yeah, that's going to be starting in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Up in Toronto. We'll be shooting for about, I would say, 6 months. And I would have thought to be released early next year.
Well, I will definitely be paying very close attention, and I will definitely ask you some more questions about that before we finish up today. But you didn't answer my question about putting on all this weight. That was the first question.
But basically, Shadow, as an ex-con, I believe in the book he's described as, and excuse the language, as big enough and don't F with me enough to not worry about his time in prison. He just had to worry about what he was going to do with his days. So he had to be able to look after himself. Thankfully, Craig Sigielski at Fremantle Media, who's also part of this project, got me into the Unbreakable Gym with the huge Jake Laser and basically a team of NFL players and UFC fighters, and they put me in the gym and bulked on 25 pounds basically.
Jeez, it's gonna be hard work.
It's been tough. It's definitely been tough. Brett Bartholomew is my main coach. He's an incredible human being. Brett, you're the shadow maker, man. What he's done for me is it's incredible. He's had me in there just building size and mass and just building inches on everywhere from head to toe to make Shadow, you know, a formidable presence. And I mean, alongside Emily, he's going to look quite large. He's already bigger than Lincoln. So
how does that compare then? Like, because with Lincoln, you generally had to get super lean and small for that role, right?
Well, no, he just had to. He was a warrior, so he had to be agile. He had to be able to, not necessarily swing through the trees, but you know, if he was at one with nature, he had to be able to escape wildlife. You know, things, you know, from panthers and Pona, you know, big gorillas chasing him through the woods, you know, and he had to be, you know, agile in battle, you know, with swords and bows and all this thing. So it's definitely one thing going from, you know, staying cut and lean to really bulking out for this new character. But it's been fun, and this is what I'm enjoy. I actually did it in season 2.
Right.
When Lincoln went through the red phase or the drug addiction, I actually put on 15 pounds for that storyline, and then lost it by the end of the season.
So give me like so when you're on the super lean diet versus you're on the super like jacked diet, what's the favorite meal when you're trying to be huge, and what's the favorite meal when you're trying to be super lean?
The seafood diet. You see food, you eat it.
Okay.
Basically.
yeah, right. That's the big one.
Literally, For American Gods, I wake up, I have a shake which contains amino acids, protein, all the good stuff to help feed your muscles and
creatine
help,
too,
help
or you stay away
recovery.
from it?
Not so much. It's mainly just we're trying to keep it all natural and just get that, encourage that natural growth. So I wake up, I'll have the shake, I'll have a breakfast, and then it is my job throughout the rest of the day to not be hungry.
You just have to eat.
I have to eat all the time. So you know when you go and you have, like, for America you have that Thanksgiving dinner, or in England we got a nice Sunday roast, and you've stuffed your face with turkey and potatoes and the veg. Not veg for me because I'm really bad. I don't eat that much. You should do as I say, not as I do. And you're stuffed. You open the belt up and you're like, I can't eat another thing. That's when you have to start eating again.
That's what you've been doing for the last 2 months?
2 months, my days, I've just been sore from the gym and full. Just that full feeling all day. I eat from the moment I get up to the moment I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's really tough. And I can eat. They said to me, well, we're going to need you to eat lots, and it's 4,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
And I thought, I got this. Right, I got this. I don't got this. That's a lot of food.
It's a huge amount of food.
It's ridiculous, but this is what I had to do to prepare for this role. They've been really thorough. Fremantle Media really looked after me. They've been absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
They got me these trainers. They've sent me to Kate McGregor-Stewart, who's an incredible acting coach, to just work through scenes and stuff, because they're very prepared. We've already got I think about 6-7 scripts through.
Yeah.
So literally my day is I go to the gym, and then I go to my acting coach, and then I've even had a magician coach. So
you have a magic coach?
I have a magic coach. It's David Kwong.
Oh,
he's incredible. He's because Shadow knows magic.
Yeah.
Shadow can do his coin tricks and card tricks. I should have been prepared, shouldn't I? I should have had it and pulled a coin out of his ear or something.
So like a magic coach, like those kind of magic, not like they're actually teaching you to cast spells.
No, they're not. No, I'm actually learning like magicians, like sleight of hand, palming, all that sort of stuff. I put some stuff on Twitter about me when I was rolling the coin across my knuckles.
Oh yeah.
I've got some footage of me performing tricks.
Right.
But I'm gonna have to run them through the producers first before I can show you guys, just to make sure that I'm not crossing any lines. But I'm getting there.
I used to think, like, I always had this idea when I was younger that, okay, if I knew like cool magic tricks with coins and cards, like what a cool thing to be able to impress a girl with if I ever met her. And then somebody was like, that'd be so creepy if you start doing card tricks at a bar for a girl. It's a weird thing, man. And I was like, yeah, I guess probably it's not.
You would have thought, but I'm telling you, my mind was blown when he was doing tricks in front of me. He could have had me, never mind the girls.
Okay, gotcha.
I was like, wow, it was impressive. I wish I'd learned magic sooner.
Fair enough. I want to ask you a couple questions. We have some fan questions, so I'll just kind of do one at a time throughout the show here, so we can make sure to get to them. And this is about American Gods, and then we're going to jump into the 100 stuff. But somebody here wants to know about the fact that Shadow has hair. So Sleepy Asian Girl Gabby wants to know: are you going to grow your hair out? Shadow isn't bald.
These are things that we're gonna address when we get up to Toronto.
Okay.
Basically, I've only met with the costume department so far.
Sure.
So we've been fitted for my sizes, which keep changing. Another reason why I didn't wear my suit is because they don't actually fit anymore. I'm European. We like our stuff tailored and tight.
Yep.
So after putting on 20, 25, 26 pounds, nothing actually fits anymore. So the tailor had to come down and take all my measurements so they could begin making costumes. We've made molds and different things for preparation. But Shadow's final look has not been confirmed yet.
So confirmation on hair for
when we go up to Toronto. We will have words with makeup and hair and costume. And don't worry, I will be posting lots of behind the scene footage. The guys at American Gods are very into promoting the show and keep raising that awareness. So get following them, American Gods STZ.
This is part of the giveaway if you want this beanie or bag, and we will come back to American Gods in a little bit here. So, question: which happened first? Did you find out Lincoln was going to get taken out from the 100, or that you had booked American Gods? Which was first?
Okay, controversial. So here we go. Lincoln wasn't supposed to die this season.
He wasn't supposed to die.
He wasn't supposed to die.
According to what you understood.
No, I was told he was not. He was not supposed to die.
Who told you that he wasn't going to die?
Jason Rothenberg.
Wow, when did that happen?
At the beginning of the season, he was not supposed to die. He had a whole storyline that was cut, that was just non-existent. It was my choice to go.
Really?
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of stuff in the press saying, "Oh, they're really daring, and then that they're willing to kill off any character." Well, this was my choice.
How did that happen? Like, how do you facilitate that?
It's very tough. It's very tough. And before we get into all this craziness, there's several reasons why I'm here today. And it's to basically, there's none of this shade business. I don't want to witch hunt. And my strong message is blood must not have blood. None of this eye for an eye business. I don't stand for anyone bullying bullies.
Yep.
So it's not about that. It's not about that. I don't want to. I hate hearing all this craziness all over social media. People bullying other people, ships hating other ships. Let's promote the show. My big message is keep watching this show. Keep watching The 100. It's an incredible show, and that's my family. And so I want to promote that you keep supporting my cast, my crew. My cast are the hardest working cast I've ever had the privilege of working with. The crew. You don't even see what they do off screen. They're absolutely incredible, from hair, makeup, props, post edits. You know, they work their fingers to the bone.
Yeah.
And all this silliness about not watching and I'm not watching because Lincoln died or because Lexa died. I understand you get attached to characters, but you know, these are my friends. You know, and if there's no show, there's no job, and you miss out on an incredible production. You know, the show is fantastic. It's going to continue to be great. Every show has problems. Every show has, you know, makes mistakes. Every show has, you know, peaks and troughs. And I just want to make sure that, you know, we encourage that awareness, keep raising that awareness, and make this show as great as it can possibly be.
I think we will make note of, as you said, the idea that people would not watch the show in protest. There is a tremendous amount of positivity that has come from the movement to not necessarily not watch this show, but say all of the Lexa trending things that happen worldwide. Mm-hmm. And so I want to just clarify to anybody that heard that. I know you support that stuff.
Yeah, massively. And I think it's incredibly important. And, you know, this is another reason why the show should continue, because I don't agree with the way things were handled, but it has raised an incredible awareness to a very important cause. You know, the Trevor Project is massive, and it's huge. And congrats to our incredible fandom who've really. I don't even know how much they've raised so far.
Last I checked, it was like 100, going on 120,000.
Okay, so for me, all you can do is applaud. You're incredible, and that's an incredible, you know, amount of determination to raise awareness and to raise that much money for a very, very valuable charity. But this show is raising that awareness, like I say. So continue to support the show, and you know, it's going to continue to try and, you know, entertain. It's going to be controversial. That's what the show always was. You know, from day one, it was controversial. We were killing off characters from the very beginning.
Yep.
But you know, you still have to remember that we have a bisexual lead. We have Brian and Miller. We have various black characters who are in power. We have powerful women. You know, literally, the show has everything.
Yes, it does.
You know, so stay with it. You know, stay with my family, stay with my friends, this cast and this crew who are, you know, working their asses off. And that's one of my main messages today, is to continue watching the show and keep supporting them, because it's a great show, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, so I agree with you. And one point I was writing about earlier, and I want to make this very clear because I agree with this, is that I can separate the way I feel about the characters, the rest of the cast, and the way that the controversy has been handled. The way that decision, let's say the stuff with you and the stuff with Alicia, that's its own animal, and you have to react the way you're going to react. And obviously, as a member of the press, for me, it's difficult because I want to take a side. I want to stand on the side of justice, so to speak. But I also love this show. I've learned I was telling you this earlier. I was on a show earlier today about The Walking Dead, a debate show, and one of the questions was which character shouldn't have died on this show. And I found myself arguing for Denise, which was a recently killed lesbian character who in the source material was actually a man. And I felt that in this episode it was improper for the show to take out one of the two gay relationships on the show. And I have to say, I would not have been aware of that cause. I would never have made the decision to argue that. And that's for a huge audience on Screen Junkies. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people watch that. And I learned that from being a part of this.
I didn't even realize this was a trope or anything. This has raised awareness in me, you know. So, you know, it's doing good things. You know, it's a shame that it's there and it's still around, but it is making people more aware, and hopefully, you know, these things can be changed in the future, and people can be a lot more sensitive when, I don't know, writing future storylines and future shows.
So now that that has been established, and I do want to know, so which came first?
The chicken or the egg?
So you found out about American Gods before you decided to leave?
No, I basically, enough was enough. And this is going to probably, I mean, like, this is going to be the most controversial thing I will say, is that basically Jason Rothenberg abused his position to make my job untenable. What he did was disgusting, and he should be ashamed. A lot was made of something my mum said all over Twitter, but everything she said was true. He was professionally bullying me, cutting out all the storyline that I was supposed to be doing, cutting lines, cutting everything out, trying to make my character and myself as insignificant as possible, to the point where it was starting to get me down. You know, unfortunately, I was surrounded by an incredible cast, and we always kind of looked out for each other. We always stick together. And every time a script would come through, I would see literally nothing for Lincoln. He's not doing anything, and it's not about. It was never about screen time. It's never about, you know, it's an ensemble cast,
right?
And that's as it should be. You have peaks and troughs, but it was why he had no screen time.
Sure.
And I approached other producers and said, you know, what's going on? The producers that were actually on set, because Jason always stayed in Santa Monica, and I said, you know, what's going on? Why am I being treated like this?
Sure.
And he, you know, the producer I spoke to was like, look, you need to speak to him. I don't know what his problems are with you, but, you know, maybe you should go down there and blah, blah, blah. And I went down twice previously, in previous seasons. It wasn't the first time I tried to leave.
Sure.
I tried to leave in season 2 as well, but Warner Brothers and CW wouldn't allow it. And I just want to say thank you to Peter Roth and Mark Pedowitz at CW and Warner Brothers, who have shown me nothing. Everyone at CW and Warner Brothers has shown me nothing but support and love throughout the whole 3 years.
Interesting.
They were incredible. They wanted to keep me, and they actually made me feel wanted, which was great. And then when the situation, because it is a blurred line of American Gods, came along, they allowed me, having seen the fact that my character was not being used at all.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, the third season, you did pretty much disappear. Very strange way.
So for starters, he was given a kill order, which basically meant he didn't have to go on any of the missions.
Yeah.
So he basically stayed at the base, but then you never really saw him at the base.
No.
And then, you know, this is the one character who's can protect everyone.
Supposed to be a total warrior.
He's supposed to be this warrior. He's supposed to be the link between the two, who could have like helped on all these missions. And then he got thrown in a cell, you know, and we kind of came back to him for 30 seconds an episode. You know, it was a shame, and unfortunately his ego cost a character, you know, because not only were you taking Lincoln away from the fans, you were also taking Linktavia, which is
it was a very popular ship.
It was a very popular ship, and you know, I loved working with Marie. She's an incredible woman, an incredible actress, and I thought we did some great things. And I have to say, props to all the fans who, you know, championed our cause and attached themselves to that ship, because there was very little for them to work with. It disappeared. It literally disappeared, and the reason was Jason was trying to cut me out, and it was childish. It was immature. It's, you know, it's narcissistical, really.
So let me ask you then, because so that message is clear, and I think, as you said, we don't want to witch hunt, so that information is there. But when I had you on here last year, and I asked you about working on the show, your quote was, "He's a fantastic boss to work for, and I feel very privileged." So at the time, did you feel that way, or at the time were you dealing with things where you couldn't leave?
No. And this is another message that I want to get across to the fans and people watching out there is I constantly remain professional.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to this day today, I'm telling you, continue to watch the show, continue supporting this cast, continue supporting this crew. But even then, you know, I was being written out of everything. There was, and for me, who was the ultimate professional, I promoted all the show. I coined the term #VanFam, and you know, I was really reaching out to all the fans all the time with the interaction, and we kind of create this thing. And yet, he chose to belittle me and you know, neglect my character and myself. You know, I often had questions and emails were ignored and things like that. It was ridiculous. But at the time, like I say, I was always positive, professional, and always have been. But enough was enough, and so, you know, I always put on a brave face, always smiled, and you know, I want to give the message to people out there that, you know, I'm a seriously positive, happy person. Right. But, you know, even I was getting down. And I just want people out there to know that no one should ever suffer in silence. You know, bullies thrive in silence, and that should never be allowed to happen. You should always feel that you should. And in various subjects like the Lexa thing as well, you know, you should always feel like you should have someone to talk to. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling upset, you should always find someone to talk to. If there's no one within your family or within your friend group, there are call centers. There's various things online. There's you know, look them up. There's always someone that you can talk to, and you should never have to suffer with anything on your own. Like I said, I had a fantastic cast who stuck by me, and you know, and we pushed each other every day, and we kept each other smiling, and we challenged each other to find, you know, positives in every negative. And just know it's darkest before the dawn, and you can make it through. You know, I want to kind of try and encourage everyone out there that, you know, you can make it. I did. You know, I was in a very dark place. I was very, very down about it. What do? Your boss is basically professionally bullying you. Now, if this was in the playground, if I was back in Oldham, it would have got physical. Sure, and, like my mum said, just bop him on the nose and you'll be fine. But, you know, I'm an adult.
It's a good mom.
You know, violence isn't going to solve anything, you know. So nowadays, what do? It's your boss. Right. There's nothing you can do. So, you know, you play smart, you smile, you continue to not rock the ship and hope that, you know, the storm passes. But it didn't. It continued and continued, and I saw my characters kind of storyline get less and less and less. Right. And as an actor, you want to be challenged, you know. And so I feel he was stalling my career. He was belittling myself and the character, and jeopardizing the show, to be honest, because there's a lot of fans out there who wanted to see Lincoln, who wanted to see Linktavia. Right. You know, so he's only sabotaging his own show by stopping the fans from seeing these fantastic storylines. There could have been incredible storylines for Lincoln this season and last, but he refused to follow them. One of them is coming up now, Luna. Yeah. That was a storyline from season one. That was supposed to come through. I could go on about that storyline with Lincoln, but it doesn't matter because he decided to cut it.
So a lot of people, the question when a character dies on a show, one of the questions that always gets asked is, so where were you, or how was it when you found out that was happening to your character? But because you made that decision, I imagine it didn't hit you as hard when you found out.
Didn't hit me hard at all. We basically put it to Jason, look, he wants off the show. Right. This is ridiculous. You know, he's not doing anything. He wants to be working. I could sit there and you know, just collect my money after 30 seconds of TV time every week, but that's not what I'm about. I'm not about the money. I'm about the craft, and I want to, you know, I love my job, and it's a shame, and that's one thing that, you know, I'll never forgive him for, is that he made me walk away from something I really loved. You know, I love Lincoln. Yeah. I love the show. I love that cast and crew, and he forced me to make that choice, to walk away. And I'm proud I did it. I stood up and said, you know, enough's enough. You know, my personal well-being is more important than this. And so we kind of gave him the call, and he said, oh well, he can go next episode or blah blah blah, or he can go to the end of the season. And I said, well, you know, let's finish off the arc,
finish
you know,
strong, right?
Let's do something, and then we can go season finale or something. And that's when the next script came out. I think it was a couple of weeks after, actually. So a couple of weeks went by, and I'm not sure if it was confirmed. It was a long time ago. It's all a bit fuzzy, but it kind of seemed settled that Lincoln was kind of going to go towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then a script came out, and then an amendment came out where when they escaped the ark,
right,
Lincoln went with them.
Yeah.
And then an amendment came out where he was he went back and was executed. I mean, even that storyline, he was executed for no reason.
Yeah, it was
very weak. It was very weak.
The ending for the character. Well, I thought it was interesting and surprising that obviously the Lexus storyline happened, which created its own amount of outcry, and we'll allude to that later. But your character was taken out just 2 episodes later, or 3 episodes later? 2
episodes later, yeah, I believe.
Which is massive. That 2 extremely popular fan favorites.
It was a big mistake,
and they were both killed in sort of irrelevant ways.
It was too soon. I mean, Lexa, she should have gone in battle or some heroic, fantastic ways. She's too incredible a character to be caught by a stray bullet. And then Lincoln, it was just really weak.
I mean, he's a warrior, and he was executed on his knees in chains.
But for no reason. I think it's sabotaging the story. The great thing about season 1 and 2 is you had great villains, but they weren't necessarily villains. It was about perspective. So Cage and everyone had their perspective. They were just trying to save their people.
Yeah.
The Grounders, they were just trying to save their people. Even at the beginning of the season, Pike was just looking after his own people.
Right.
He just had a bad experience with the Grounders, and so didn't trust them and feared them.
Yeah.
And wanted to, get rid of them. So then why does he turn around and just suddenly execute not an innocent, but an honest, good person who he knows is a good person.
Right, because everybody's just trying to make the best of their situation.
It just makes Pike a villain. There's no layers. It's taken away his complexity.
Yeah.
Before it was like, he's aggressive and he's killing all these Grounders, but he's just trying to look out for everyone. He's trying to think of the greater good. Now it's just he's just killing people and that's not down to Pike. That's down to the writing. And for me, I just thought that's just Jason, who was just trying to get me off the show as quickly as possible.
Now, just as you mentioned with your relationship to Warner Brothers, if you do American Gods, let's say you have an incredible run and you do that for 5 or 6 years, and in years from now, another role in the CW runs back around, different people, you would work with CW again?
I would work with CW at the drop of a hat. I would work with Warner Brothers at the drop of a hat. They like I said, they were nothing but lovely to me. They're incredible. All the offices, anytime I was in the offices, they were always so good to me.
Yeah.
Peter and Mark, they came up to Vancouver. We had dinner. They came to set, and nothing but warmth.
Great.
They're incredible, intelligent human beings who know their stuff. Right. And it's just a shame that I had to walk away from something I loved. Yeah,
well, I think a lot of people miss you as well. So I do want to know, even though the episode maybe didn't hold as much weight for you, was it still emotional filming your final scene, just because you had been on it so long, the van and everything?
It's funny because I was absolutely fine. Yeah. Because I really wanted to go. I didn't want to leave my cars, and I was kind of resentful and I was kind of angry. So my sadness had been replaced with anger. Right. Because I was having to leave something I loved. So I was actually fine. I was like, look, I just need to get off, and I just want to go, focus on auditioning and things, because that's when American Gods was starting to rear its head. And so I was like, right, I need to try and prepare for these auditions and see, where this goes. Yeah. And it wasn't until some of the cast and some of the crew, Susan, who does all our continuity, script continuity and things, she was crying. The director,
Yeah.
Just once, as soon as I started seeing tears,
You started to get you.
that set me off.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And you know, it was very emotional seeing that it wasn't in my head that we were this close.
Yeah.
You know, that people did like me and love me and were going to miss me, and that made me really realize that, wow, this was a real family. This, you know, they're going to miss me. And
Yeah.
I was like, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt because that made it very real for me. But it's, you know, it's family that I'm always going to have.
Right.
You know, and you know, the silly, the cheesy term, may we meet again. I hope we do. I hope we work together, you know, on numerous future projects, because they're incredible human beings. They're, you know, Canadians are the happiest people in the world.
Right.
For no reason. They're amazing. And they work crazy hard, and they just made me feel so welcome and so loved. And I really did love that show, and it was a real shame. So, you know, I tried to keep it positive on the last day. I tried to, you know, still crack my jokes with Michael Beach, who, oh my goodness, is one of the funniest, nicest guys you've ever met. He plays Pike. Yeah. He's the bad guy, and now that they've made him kill Lincoln, everyone's like, I hope Octavia gets him, blah blah blah. I hope Pike dies. Mike Beach, who plays Pike, has got to be one of the nicest guys you've ever met. Yeah? He's hilarious. We go riding our Harleys together. Oh, nice. He's always there for advice on you know, his in life experiences, and he's a joker. Like him, I'd say him and Henry Ian Cusick. Yeah, you mentioned him last time. Those two, and Paige, I cannot work with. Okay. Paige Turco, Henry Ian Cusick, Mike Beach, I refuse to work with them because they just give me the giggles. You can't keep a straight face. They're hilarious. Yeah. And these are the professionals. These are the experienced ones. Yeah. And they're the ones who are pranking, pulling all the jokes and cracking up. So, you know, there's no hope for me in the future if I'm already pulling my pranks now. How much time did you have to spend in Vancouver just sitting around? Or did you get to come back here a lot and spend a lot of time in LA? At one point, I came home for 6 weeks. Really? Because I just wasn't in scripts. You didn't have any shots? I was not in scripts. Crazy. So if you shoot at the beginning of one episode, and then I'd not be in an episode, and then I was maybe shooting at the end of another episode. I literally sat back in LA for 6 weeks. I forgot I was working. Really? I forgot I was working. Amazing. Like literally, you know, I was just sat around twiddling my thumbs. Sure. You know, I'd go back up, but that was just to play tennis with Bob, Sachin, and you know, Richard. It really was just like, sounds sort of surreal. Being on holiday. Yeah. So, all right, I do want to ask again about with American Gods and when you found out. So you were in the middle of all of this this difficulty with the 100, and American Gods starts to come up. Now, is that something where you hear about the project, they reached out to you because you're Ricky Whittle, now you know you're a name, so you get brought in specifically, they're considering a few guys for this, and you realize this is huge, or is it one of these things, there's a million scripts that come across your desk? This came across my attention in Comic-Con last year. Okay, yeah. A journalist, and I would love her to tweet me and continue to tweet me because I get so many tweets. I can't even. Yeah. By the way, big love to all the fans out there. I try and get through all your tweets. You've been nothing but incredible to me, and I love every single one of you. You're amazing. You make me smile every day. Thank you. But the journalist basically said, have you seen Casting Shadow? Yeah. Basically, the network were trying to get the fans to put forward their ideas for who they would like to play Shadow. Oh, really? And I apparently was one of the front runners. Oh, cool. And so she brought it to my attention. I was like, no, I've not heard of it. And she was, oh yeah, and she told me all about it, and we laughed and joked and stuff. And I kind of just put out to my agent. I said, can you just like have a little sniff around and find out about this? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll have a little look. But it wasn't something, you know, I was after because I was still in 100. Yeah. You know, I just thought just have a little look because I didn't know anything about the project. I didn't know if it was a film, TV show, when it's going to be shot or anything like that, because I shot Mistresses at the same time as you were on 2 shows last year. Yeah. So I thought maybe if it was something that could work, then let's do it. And then basically, it's when we made the decision to leave the show, right? And it was on the table that Lincoln would leave at the end of the season. That's when the auditions came through, and basically, apparently, I'm not sure which casting office it was who said, yeah, we would love to see Ricky. You know, we just thought he was tied up with 100, and they were like, well, yeah, he's going to be leaving at the end of the season, so he'll actually be free from February. And they're like, great, yeah, I put him on tape, and it was an incredible process that went on for months in the end. But I think that's why, I mean, it's just hearsay, but why Lincoln was killed off sooner, because someone maybe got a little bee in their bonnet about it.
Sure.
But it was an incredible process, and like I say, Warner Brothers and CW knew about it. They're incredibly supportive. Again, they wanted to keep me.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they were like, well, why is one of our characters being hunted to play the lead in a new show?
Yeah.
You know, we don't even use him. Why is he not being used? So, you know, again, they showed nothing but support and love, and wanted to keep me. But my agent, August Camera, Talentworks, was incredible in fighting for me, and Gavin at CAM. I want to say big love to Naisha Arnold as well at Untitled, who just fought for my corner. They were saying he wants to work.
Yeah, right.
You know, he'd rather leave that comfort zone and audition, go back into that process.
Yeah.
Because he just wants to work. You know, he loves his job. He loves working.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair way to feel, man.
And, you know, like I say, Warner Brothers and CW heard that, and they were like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
You know, and they looked through the tapes, they looked through the episodes, and they were like, yeah, he's not in the show.
Sure.
So they kind of allowed a situation that I can't really go into, but it was an incredible situation, and very sympathetic to my situation, where they allowed me to audition for American Gods, and there was a situation whereby I still could have returned to the 100.
Got it.
Until Jason Rothenberg decided to change the script and have him killed off very soon. Because, I mean, this is another thing. You know, Lincoln didn't have to die.
Right. He could have just gone into exile. It's the same argument for Lexa, too.
It's that shock value that's not necessary.
Right.
You know, it's that whole, like, you know, why are you trying to get that one bump of ratings where, oh, shock, Lincoln dies, when it's still shocking enough to see Lincoln leave.
Yeah.
So if Lincoln left and then, you know, he comes back season 4, Octavia finds him, you know, that's all straight away, that's 2 peaks that you've got there. And, you know, and Lexa could have come back, you know, there's different things you could have done. I'm not saying you keep every character, you know, there has to be deaths and there has to be shocks and things. But that was just, you know, a choice. It was his choice to kill him off because he wanted rid of me rather than, you know, keeping the truth in the script.
Was there any conversation that you were aware of? Obviously now we're in the midst of Lexa Deserved Better. We're in the midst of this enormous media storm, and I mean, there's so much to cover there. I don't think we can really get into the whole scope of it. But as far as on set, amongst the writers, amongst the cast, I mean, was there an awareness that you're dealing with a very hurtful trope here? This is dangerous territory, or they're just
not when we were doing it. Like I say, this has raised awareness for me since Lexa was killed off. But then again, I wasn't really paying that much attention, to be quite honest, because I was literally trying to stay happy and positive. So I was busy playing tennis and playing computer games with the guys, trying to keep myself, you know, because when I read the scripts, it made me sad. Because, you know, when I first got my scripts in season 1, I'd be ripping through them, reading it. I was like, wow, this is amazing, this is great. And then it got to the stage where, okay, where is he?
You're looking. Yeah.
Okay, where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, is that it? And even stuff that I did film.
Yeah.
The lines were getting cut. So even Lincoln's death was cut.
Did you have a lot of scenes that got cut out of the show, you think?
Yeah, no, I did.
Done.
I got scenes cut, and they say it's for different reasons, but the storytelling, you know. And again, it's down to opinions, and so it could be one thing or another. You know, anyone can take the positive or the negative. But for me, you know, his death scene was cut again, and there was things there that I felt were very important that should have been seen to tell the story and to tell the truth of Lincoln. But again, you know, they were just cut down, and it's just frustrating. So, you know, I didn't like reading scripts.
You mentioned that you were playing computer games. What do you play?
So myself,
tell me it's Hearthstone. Please tell me it's Hearthstone. Oh no, it's not Hearthstone.
No. It was. What were we playing? We were playing We played Mario Kart.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, Ricky.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I don't care what you say, Richard Harmon. I will end you. No, he's really good.
That's
he's
in the press
really
release. Ricky Whittle talks the show, and he will end.
Richard Harmon's very good. I'm a bit upset. Sachin likes to play the NBA
2K
or something like that. He likes to go old school. He's got an old Nintendo. We play GoldenEye.
I play this. What's your best setting? Are you like really good with like the PP7, like License to Kill? What do you?
Sachin cheats. He just finds the golden gun and just one shots everyone. He's sick. And then Bob and myself like to play a little bit of FIFA.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that gets quite competitive. I've got footage actually of him losing. I think it was like 5 or 6
really?
0. Yeah, I mean.
You'll release it online when you need to embarrass him.
I'll release it when Bob accepts me, which he won't because he's lovely.
So a quick fan question. Clark Griffin AF wants to know what will you miss most, what will you miss least?
I will miss most. There's too much to list. I literally loved everything about that show.
Yeah.
I love the character. It was like up until now, up until Shadow and reading the scripts, it's going to be incredible. But Lincoln was the best character I ever played.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. But unfortunately, it was like they created this Superman and then told him, oh, but you can't fly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to use your X-ray vision. Oh, you can't use your super strength. So it was a shame, but I loved Lincoln and I loved the show. And the biggest miss will be the cast and crew.
Yeah.
Kind of being with them every day because I still see them. You know, we're all going out for some dinner tomorrow, and you know, we still do crazy things. You know, Lindsay will always pop up with, let's go laser tag, and you know, I went to conventions with Sachin and Richard, you know, and Jared. Chris is always up for a little bit of dinner. You know, they're incredible people. You know, Isaiah, Mike. I ride with Mike. I ride with Marie. I'll always see them, but I'll just miss that everyday contact that we had.
Right.
You know, that's something I'll miss. What will I miss least? Those late nights on top of a mountain when it's freezing cold up in Vancouver.
Yeah.
There was a great night once, a night shoot where there was a lot of us. Adina Porter was there and everyone, and we were shooting till 4 a.m, freezing cold, ice, rain, and we literally had a karaoke session to keep ourselves warm.
What's your sing?
We got told to keep it down because we were singing too loudly.
What's your song? Everybody needs to know.
We've got different songs. We've all been to karaoke. I think I released some behind the scenes footage of Devon can do a mean Snoop.
Oh really?
So here you go. Devon Bostic is basically a Snoop Dogg reincarnation.
Okay.
Chris Larkin is a sick Eminem impersonator.
Oh, that's good.
He was incredible. Like, he could rap.
He like knew it.
He knew it. Legit everything.
Wow.
Sachin's very good as well. He can rap. What was the rap in London? I can't remember. He was rapping in London. I just like to go rock. I like to rock it out with some,
I do too.
Some Bon Jovi.
That's what I do.
Guns N' Roses. We should duet.
Dude, are you going to see Guns on the reunion tour? You're going to, right?
No, I'm filming American Gods and Stars 2017.
Dude, Guns is my all-time favorite band. I'm losing my mind about it.
I'm gutted because I don't like Coachella and all that business, but to see Guns N' Roses perform, oh my goodness, that would be incredible. Because I grew up with them.
Yeah,
I grew up with them. Right. That was like my jam when I was at school. I used to just rock out to Axel. Oh. Love it.
Faithfully, Journey. That's my song for karaoke. Just in case anyone was wondering.
Which one?
Faithfully, Highway Run.
Faithful.
I was wondering, Ben.
How's it go?
Highway Run. You know that song. I mean, I can do it better than that, but that was my moment. All right, so
that was good. He's a good singer.
On the subject of songs, another fan question here. Jane Face Taylor says, "What songs did they dance to on set?"
What song? We danced to everything.
Okay.
I also put out a video of myself, Alicia,
I saw that.
Katie and Ali,
right?
and Eliza. Yeah. And this is what we do. We just get bored and we do stupid things. Yeah. So we'll just have a dance off, or we'll just mess around and just loosen up. You know, we just constantly keep each other buzzing because it gets cold up there. So we just entertain each other. So we'll dance, we'll sing. It was Michael Jackson that night.
Yeah.
Pretty Young Things. What else do we dance to? We loved, for some reason, we keep singing that. What's that jungle thing?
Oh yeah.
We do that. Boys to Men.
Boys to Men's good. It's a fun one.
Sachin literally knows the lyrics to every song going.
Okay.
He's like an encyclopedia of songs.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. And he's got a very good voice as well.
You guys sound a bit like if there had been like a reality TV show behind the scenes on that show.
We talked about it. We said what they needed to do was to film the show, but then film us filming the show.
Yeah.
And on the hiatus, show the behind the scenes footage of us filming that season.
Yeah.
And that would probably get more ratings than the actual show because it's hilarious. The amount of fun we have on that show behind the scenes is just keeping each other entertained, just sneaking into each other's trailers and just having massive picnics and stuffing our faces from, chocolate and candy and, just having dance-offs or just all sleeping. Sometimes you'll go into a trailer and there's like 4 bodies just on the floor and everyone's got their own trailer.
Yeah.
But they just end up, in someone's trailer because it's family. We're all really close. It's great fun.
I have not had a negative experience yet interacting or meeting any member of the cast. So I met Alicia twice in the last couple of weeks.
She's incredible.
She's amazing.
She texted me today, I think. I think she's in Mexico or something like that. She's I was like, oh, you coming out with some food? And she was like, oh, I would do. Oh, wait, when I come back here, I'll give you a call. I was like, I love you. No, I love you.
Yeah.
She's an unbelievable. When she first came, I remember the first day I met her.
Yeah.
On set. Well, it wasn't on set. We were just in the trailers. And she just came in, and she was just this. Again, just another bright ball of sunshine. Just this little Aussie who was just like, just chatting away, And we ended up chatting for about 20-25 minutes, and I kept getting dragged off to set. I was like, okay, I'm coming. So, because she's just so engaging. She's so fun and just like energetic. She was really great. And
did you see her Snapchat filter? Did you see that?
I'm not on Snapchat, so no, I've not seen it. Oh, the filter. Yeah, I've seen the filter that the fans are all doing.
Have you done a picture?
No, I don't have Snapchat.
Dude, before it's over, promise me you'll let me get the Lexa picture of you.
It's on.
Okay.
It's on.
I got it live on a red carpet. I got her to do it for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she totally went from being fun to like Lexa face.
Oh, Lexa face.
She like turned on Lexa face.
She's got that. She's got that. She's hilarious. When you see her all in Lexa gear, because you only see it when you're on set.
Right.
As soon as the camera stops rolling, she's a goofball. She's hilarious. I love her to bits. She's an incredible person. I absolutely love her to death.
Yeah, I mean everybody. Lindsay's coming on Thursday. Actually, I'm finally after all the songs. I finally get her on set. 2 songs,
but finally that little ball of sunshine is coming on. You're gonna have nothing but fun. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world, not just the cast, the entire world. She's crazy talented and just full of energy. What that girl can't do, she's going to be frightening in the future, and on all these other projects that she's working on as well. I wish her nothing but luck for the future.
So quickly, let's. I think I don't want to go on too long, but let's go through the cast a little bit. Just give me like a sweet thing or memory you're going to miss about maybe some of the main characters. So let's start with Eliza.
Eliza is hilarious. She is such a sweetie. That girl works so hard. Clark's in everything.
Yeah.
And Eliza's been put through the mill. She literally has to do absolutely everything. She's got stunts, she's got dialogue, monologues, she's got all this crazy kind of storyline, and she just remains positive, barrel of fun. She's again, as with all the Australians, she's hilarious. She's just comedy first, which is funny considering Clark's not funny.
What's it take to make Eliza laugh?
Anything.
Oh, really?
Eliza's just always laughing. She's just always got a little cheeky smile. She's just crazy talented and crazy sweet. She's just crazy. She's so funny.
Yeah.
She really is funny. I mean, I think you see it on her vines and things like that.
Yeah, I totally do.
She's just got a really smart, quick sense of humor. She's very witty.
What about Marie?
Marie is Octavia.
She's that character?
Octavia is Marie.
She's just a badass?
She rides Harleys. She plays the drums. She does her own stunts.
Oh, man.
She'll come in and she'll be with a stunt choreographer. So I want to do a somersault and hit this guy with a sword and then pick this guy up and throw him, and it's like, look, can you do somersaults? No, but we'll work it out. And she's just like, Marie, calm down.
Yeah.
Just calm down. She's just she just wants to do everything. She's like, she is Octavia. She is that tomboy. She's up for anything.
Yeah.
She'll get down and dirty. She's this beautiful little thing, and she's just not afraid to get dirty and to get her hands dirty. The first time we met, it's when Octavia falls down the mountain and she sees Lincoln for the first time.
Right.
She was lying in the mud for I don't know however long it was, and a mouse ran past her, and I was like, I told you this last time. I was like, I think that's a rat. And she was like, No, it's just a mouse. It was. I saw it earlier, and she was absolutely fine.
And you were terrified.
I was like, it's a mouse. It's a mouse. I was frightened, but she's just badass. She's crazy talented as well. She can do a lot that you don't know about. You know, I posted a little session on the drums and things like that. There's lots of stuff that people don't know about this incredibly talented cast.
She's doesn't use her Twitter. Early on I tweeted at her once. She's
not on Twitter. I mean, she Instagrams. Yeah. But she's real. She's too busy living life.
Yeah, I get that.
You know,
That's awesome.
she's out camping or hunting and riding, and you know, she's very outdoorsy. She's very outdoorsy. She loves all that, and she's got her puppy as well that she's well into now. So she's a happy girl.
What about Lindsay Morgan?
Lindsay Morgan is the biggest ray of sunshine you've ever met in your life, and you will all see that on Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
Again, she's crazy talented and just crazy. You know, she's kind of similar to myself. She always wants to get the gang together to do stuff. You know, I'll say, oh, let's go and do this, let's go do this, and then she'll like hit everyone up and go, oh, let's go laser tag, let's go and do this, let's go and have some food, let's go bowling. You know, and we just, you know, it's she's kind of like the head of the union, and she's like, you know, okay, let's do this, let's do that. So you know, that's a strange thing. I always feel they wasted a shot with Lindsay on the show. You know, she's possibly the most sporty member of the cast. She is.
Well, she's a workout fiend, right?
Her body's incredible. She's so fit and so like agile and strong that I really think it was a big shame when they kind of gave her the leg brace. My own storyline wise, I kind of thought that it would have been more interesting to see Raven able-bodied, and taking advantage of the fact that Lindsay is so athletic. You know, she could have been like Marie. You know, Lincoln could have taught her to fight because she's so strong, and you know, Raven really could have excelled as something, you know, quite powerful, and maybe give Clark the leg brace. So for me, Clark still leading from the front with this disability, still going through all that pain, but yet she's still strong and like, no handicap, no disability is going to stop me from leading these people through here, and I'm still going to, you know, fight the warriors, the grounders and stuff. I still think that would have been incredible. But yeah, I think they missed one with Lindsay there, because she's so active. I mean, she's it's only a matter of time before she's on the front covers of sports, you know, health and fitness and things like that. She's very active and very sporty.
So let me ask you then, the first time I got you in studio was because I wrote her a song. How did I write her a song and I managed to get you here?
Gutted, right?
Yeah. You're like, She was like, she was probably like, look, this weird dude wrote me a song. You're like, hey, he's kind of good. I mean, sure. Then you were like, you sent a message. You're like, hey, really nice work on that song, man. I was like, oh well, thanks, Ricky. I appreciate that.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, I was like, it's really good.
Yeah,
it was really good. I thought, because I've always wanted to play the guitar, you know, and I get talent envy. So I thought, he plays the guitar, he sings, and he made a really lovely song. I'd love to have done that. So, you know, props to you. It was very good and very sweet. And it got her on the show.
Eventually, yeah. In my mind, I was like, God, he's on the 100. He's like super jacked. I was like, man, that guy's got it figured out. So I guess we were on opposite sides, you know?
Not at all. You're in a smart suit. I'm in my PJs.
Hey, look, man, I'll take it. You want to give me compliments? I'm not going to stop you. But all right, so let's keep going down. So Devin Bostic. Wow, that guy has got a brain on him. He is incredible. Again, very funny, very intelligent. What he's doing off camera is very impressive. He actually has a short, I believe, down in the OC or somewhere very soon. That he directed?
He directs, he produces.
Wow.
And then he's starring in various films and things like that. So watch out for Devin Bostic's Twitter feed, because he's got a lot coming up.
I was standing in line to get my valet from Soho House recently, and I saw him checking out, and I was like, I should say something. I was like, no, I can't. This isn't work.
You should have said something.
I know.
He's the nicest guy.
I totally wanted to, but I just was like, nah, it's work. I shouldn't say anything.
He's the nicest guy. He's coming to dinner tomorrow, and he's like, he's a really good dude. He's really funny, really intelligent. Again, he's similar to Eliza, very witty, sarcastic. He's funny. And then obviously from karaoke, where I've seen he's very talented at rapping too.
Yeah. What about Chris Larkin?
Chris Larkin, I actually have his album.
Really?
I have his album, and can we play a little bit?
Can I get a copy? What's happening?
I'm gonna play a little bit
Through the mic?
through the mic.
Go for it.
Can we hear this?
Yeah.
This is Chris Larkin. I promote him so much because he is incredibly talented.
He sings too?
Yeah.
I was not
he
aware.
Sings, he plays instruments. He's crazy talented.
Wow.
And it's
Ricky,
good.
why are you hiding this from us?
Can you hear it, Alexis?
Yeah.
This is called To Start. I literally sat on the beach and listened to this as the sun went down.
Wow.
It was one of my favorite times of this year. This year? Yeah, this year. No, last year. Last year. This year. I don't know. But it was good.
That sounds really
Where
good.
can we find this?
Yeah,
You can go and download. Ooh, you can go to iTunes and find it there. Check out his Twitter and stuff like that, and he's got lots of different links. Or I'm going to tweet it later on. Then I will tweet it later
Done.
on. And,
I just ran into him
promote it.
last Tuesday at the Fear the Walking Dead premiere, and they were nice enough to just, as press, they let me in to watch it, which was amazing.
Uh-huh.
And I was coming out of the bathroom, and he was there. I just was like, oh, and this was one of those situations where I was actually there at work, and I felt like I could introduce myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, so nice to meet you. And he was like totally taken aback. He was like, you know who I am? He was like, kind of like,
It's insane. He's always like that.
Yeah.
He's so like, just like, you know me?
yeah. I mean, he
what's
didn't
the-
say it, but I
and
could
it's
tell
like,
from he was surprised, you know?
He is so nice, and I had the honor of meeting his dad in Boston as
Yeah.
well. And I see where he gets it from, because his dad was an incredible guy.
Yeah.
Like, he just came up to me and he had a big Boston jacket on, Boston Red Sox jacket on, and it said Larkin on the back. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he must be a fan of no. And he was like, yeah, he stood in front of me for a while, but it took me like a couple of seconds to figure it out. But he was such a lovely guy, and explains exactly why Chris is the way he is. He's just such a genuine, honest, just a good guy. He's one of those really honestly good people in this world who literally just only exudes, nice things, and he just doesn't see what he is, which is crazy talented, good looking, nice. I wish so many great things for this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's so good at what he does. And again, he's another one who I believe should have a more of a story arc on the show.
Yeah.
He's getting used a bit more.
Yeah.
And hopefully that continues, because that guy is crazy talented.
Yeah.
If he's not acting, he can sing, he's playing instruments, and then just his genuine his personality. He's just a really, really sound guy. He's so nice, and he's very quiet.
Yeah.
But he's sarcastic and funny.
Yeah.
So, if you're not listening properly, you'll miss his little quips. He's hilarious. Love him. Love him to death.
I'm hoping I can get him in here. All right, Bob Morley. Let's. We only have a few minutes left, so we'll try.
Bob Morley. He's my bromance. He's
Yeah, you guys love each other.
He's my action man. You know. We play tennis. We rock climb. We do everything.
Yeah.
He's crazy talented. I had the pleasure of doing a tape with him when he was auditioning for something, and I was blown away by the tape. I was like, wow, you're incredible, bro. And he was like, no, well, it's something different. I was like, no, that was incredible. Like, to see him out of Bellamy doing this incredibly complex character that he was reading for, I was amazed. And I look forward to seeing him doing other things as well, but he kills it as Bellamy. He's incredible. He works hard. He's another good guy. He's another goofball. He's very much like Lindsay and Sachin. They're just always just messing around. He's always got a wise comment. If you could read our text to each other, you'd be shocked and you'd be cracking up. He's hilarious.
Both you guys,
he's actually feeling not very well at the moment, so I hope you feel better.
Both you guys, when you talk in interviews, you have the accent and then a slightly higher voice. But both of you, when you do the American accent, you both go down and kind of talk like this.
Who's hungry?
Yeah, you guys are going to Batman.
Who's
voice.
hungry?
Yeah,
I'm Batman.
yeah, you totally have Batman.
No, I'm
voices.
Batman.
Kills me.
We do, because it's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, the voice is very important. When the voice is a character in itself. So when I've got a character, the voice will dictate what you the audience will think of that character. So Is he older? Is he younger? Is he educated? Is he not educated? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I can make you think something just by the tone of voice that I use.
Yeah.
So when you hear Bellamy, you hear a leader, because he's got this strong gravel, raspy voice. Yeah. So he's a strong guy. He's got this kind of, leadership quality in that voice. If he had a higher voice, would you follow him into battle? Not so much. Yeah. He had to have that kind of strong grounding. So, I've played characters where my voice has been higher. Yeah. But Lincoln was a warrior and he needed to be very grounded and very manly. So I had to go lower.
So we've already covered Mike Beach and Henry and Cusack and Paige Turco. So just quickly give me, and I guess we did talk about Alicia already. So quickly give me, who am I missing? Richard Harmon. That's what I wanted.
Richard Harmon, crazy talented. I see that guy's face on every single cover of every Netflix film. Like, he's in everything. I didn't realize his resume is huge. He's so talented. Yeah. And as in Murphy's the bad guy, not the bad guy, but the wisecracking, the troublemaker. Complete opposite in real life. Richard Harmon is, like, again, he's one of the Van Fam, the original Van Fam. He's funny, he's hilarious. We always hung out together. He's another just absolutely wicked dude. I'd take bullets for that guy. He's absolutely incredible.
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad we covered the whole cast. Unless you wanted to add one last thing about Alicia, just because I know there's so many Alicia Debnam fans watching.
Isaiah. He literally is. He is literally like my father. We got that father-son dynamic. Yeah. But if everyone wants to know about Alicia, there's nothing else I can say. That girl is incredible. I can't wait to see her next. When I do, we'll snap a little selfie.
Get the Snapchat picture.
Yeah. For those who've never met, who've never met her, she is exactly what you see in her interviews. She is that funny, she's that sweet, she's that lovely. There's nothing bad about that girl. She hasn't got a bad bone in her body. So know that you're following an incredible girl. She really is that incredible.
All right, we're gonna get you a Snapchat picture before I forget.
Snapchat.
This is gonna be.
I've got to be Lexa.
Yeah, you got to do Lexa. So I gotta focus this. I don't use my Snapchat. For anybody who started following me, I have to apologize. I have to tap on the face and then Alexis. Do you know how I do this?
Yes. You tap on the face first, and then and then you gotta look for it.
Okay, I see.
And then you hold it down or tap it.
No, all right, we'll do it off camera. Alexis
I'll help you.
I'll help you off camera.
This is me actually being bad, actually at Snapchat Live in live.
Okay.
Lord.
So can I quickly just recap?
Yes.
Basically, this is not a witch hunt. This was not shade. This was not tea-spilling. This was just the truth, because a lot of people were talking rubbish. Keep watching the show. Keep supporting this cast. Keep supporting this crew. It's an incredible show. I want you to keep on watching and keep just raising that awareness. Let's make this show as incredible as you possibly can. Also, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, if you've got anything upsetting you, please talk to someone. There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone you can reach out to. There's professional organizations that you can reach out to too, if you don't feel that you have friends or family or someone that you can speak to. So never suffer in silence. No one ever has to suffer in silence. Please talk to someone. I hope that I can continue to try and inspire you like you inspire me. Thankfully, I was strong enough to stand up for my own rights and myself. And, I had people to talk to. And I thank them every day. And I thank you every day. You also got me through a very tough time, a very tough 2 years. So thank you very much to every one of you. And I hope I continue to remain positive and inspire you as you do me.
Awesome. And just to make it clear, to reiterate as part of that statement, unless I'm saying something you disagree with how the Lincoln and the Lexa situations were handled, but you 100% support the show and the CW, and there's zero part of you that it's just the handling by the showrunner, and that's the problem for you.
Maybe this show needs a showrunner that they deserve.
Fair enough. Well,
I don't mean to interrupt, but the fans are saying that the filter is gone. That's probably why you can't find it.
What?
But we'll figure it out. We'll look at it after the show. We'll see what we can
heartbreak.
find. I know.
I promise everybody to get the Lindsay filter too.
It's okay. We'll just get a Sharpie and we'll draw it on me.
I have some makeup. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
We'll just Sharpie. Speaking of Sharpie, actually, let's do this giveaway.
Okay.
All right. So Alexis, I'm gonna need your help on this one because I have no computer in front of me. So remember, if you're watching right now, you have approximately 90 seconds to on Twitter follow AfterBuzz TV Ben Bateman Media, Ricky Whittle, and American Gods STZ, and tweet using the hashtag #TeaTimeWithRicky. Take a minute and a half here, 2 minutes, do it while he signs this bag, and we are gonna give these two away to a lucky fan.
And you want to do this right now, or you want to do it later?
I think doing it now because I'd love to have Ricky say the Twitter handle and congratulate them, and I'll deal with sending it out myself because you're flying out to do your thing.
I am.
So yeah, use that hashtag and we'll do our damnedest. Unless Alexis, you think that we would be able to handle this easier, not now, and we'd be more accurate.
I think we can do it tomorrow on our show, but it's up to you.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually that's a good call. That way, it gives you guys
might be too much
because anybody watching this
missed out. Yeah,
exactly. There's some people asleep right now, so anybody watching this right now, that's the deal. So one last time, you follow those 4 Twitters, use the hashtag #TeaTimeWithRicky. Tweet at us once, and I will be giving these away, and maybe I'll even shoot you a message to give a congratulations or something like that.
I will do.
Yeah. Can we sign the? I guess we can't sign the beanie. There's not really.
I know. Maybe we'll find a silver. We'll find a silver pen or something like that.
There might be one out here somewhere.
And I'll sign it. But then they can't wear it. So I mean, maybe we'll sign. We'll sign the pen.
I think the fact that Ricky has worn it will be enough.
Yeah.
Alexis, because you're so special.
Last question for you. Totally random. You have just 10 seconds to answer. I know we talked about Man of Steel last time you were here and how much you love superheroes and Superman. Batman versus Superman, yes or no?
No.
Yeah, me too. All right. Done and done. Guys, you heard it here first. That's the full exclusive interview. That's the whole story. I hope we hit as many questions as we possibly could, and I agree with you. I agree. Move forward with positivity. Support the show. I still love the show.
Love that show. Support the show. Watch the show.
Best of luck on everything in American Gods. I'll be following closely. And guys, tweet your questions and comments about this, and we'll try to interact and all that. So Ricky, thank you so much for coming by. This was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.